Today we are on part 2 of how I healed my depression naturally. Here we go.
My happiness is right where I left it. I can't remember when the simplest was all I wanted.
Hello everyone and welcome to Freedom Friday, where you learn how to free yourself and live your dreams. I'm Darienne from DariAwakened.com and I'm excited to be here. So we're on part 2. If you haven't watched part 1, go watch that, of how I healed my depression naturally. So today I'm going to talk about the second step that I took, and I mentioned this in our last video that these steps don't necessarily have to be taken by you or a loved one that's suffering with depression if you're suffering with depression, but this is just the way I did it. And I know that when it comes to spiritual awakening, we all go through very different phases at very different times. But recently, I've been going through a lot in my life. Very big divine storm. And, you know, I've really needed to revert back to the basics of how I got out of my depression, because I don't think anything this monstrous has happened to me in quite a long while. So I'm, you know, there's that desire to want to go back to the familiar depression and start like feeling sorry for myself and just wallowing in this terrible mindset. And so I've had to really go back to the basics, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. And because these basics are, this is it. This is all I need, really, and I think all you need. And so I'm sharing it. So the first step was the first step. Go back and watch that. And the second step is quitting my vices and shedding my identity. So what I did, and I have told you guys about this book umpteen times. It's actually on my bed. I don't know if you can see it. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And I'm rereading it again. And I've already, I mean, I'm not even past the preface, and I already had an aha. So, which was really, really awesome to be able to have. So one of the things that Eckhart talks about in his book, The Power of Now, and even A New Earth, and I've read that book as well, but The Power of Now was the first book that I read, and it really woke me up. And so what he talks about is how you are not what you identify with as your ego. So for me, I'm not a woman, I'm not a mother, I am not, you know, at the time I was this party girl. I thought that that's who I was. I, you know, smoked cigarettes, and I went out to the bar, and I was like the life of the party, and I was like, you know, sleeping with guys in the parking lot, the band boys. I'm hooking up with the bands in the band boys in the band room, and you know, I was just like this rebel, free spirit, did what the hell I wanted. And I was crazy, and I thought that that's who I was. I almost felt obligated to be that person, no matter how incredibly self-sabotaging that was and how bad it was for me. I mean, I spent most weekends drinking myself until I barfed, and it was really sad. It was a really sad existence at that point in my life. So I really had to strip myself of all that I thought I was, and I really had to quit my vices, because that was really me chasing the outside. All the things that I was addicted to at the time, it was not necessarily that I was addicted to sex, but I was addicted to men, for damn sure, relationships, and just living that lifestyle. And I smoked cigarettes at the time, and I drank very heavily. I would carry a flask of Jägermeister around with me, and that's how serious I was about my drinking. And it's not funny. I'm laughing, but it's good that I can laugh about it now. Let's just say that. But that's who I thought I was, and those were the outside influences that I would chase in order to find some sort of relief in my life. And I was so deep in a hole and so deep in my depression that I just didn't even know who the hell I was anymore. And so I went on this quest for peace, and I, you know, Eckhart was like, drop your identity to your attachment to, you know, ego and your role that you're playing on this earth. So the body that I'm in, who I'm mothering, who's my mother, who's my father, there's just all of that, the roles that we're playing. So really think of yourself as like a character in a play, and we're sort of just wearing this skin and these personalities for the time being. And I really looked at what I was attaching myself to that was really toxic for me. And so I thought to myself, if I, in a sense, kill the girl I thought I was, who would I be then? So I loved what Eckhart caused me to do and provoked me to do, which was to challenge my own existence, right? So it was like, okay, well, if I'm not this, or if I'm not this anymore, am I still alive? And there was really a lot of this, you know, he would put you through these exercises where you just feel your own essence. So you really just try to sit and feel your own body and feel your own life force running through your body. And I could do it right now and just kind of feel the energy running throughout my body and understanding that that was always pure, no matter who I thought I was, no matter who I thought I wasn't. So that was one reason. And another reason I really had to quit my vices was because what happens is, to escape that pain and all that suffering of depression, we're chasing all of these outside influences and, you know, addictions of whatever kind. We're basically trying to run away from whatever's going on in here. And so when you peel back those layers, you're left with your own raw emotions. And you can't ever heal until you find that truth, until you begin to peel back those layers, and you really have to face those truths within yourself. And that's actually probably another step to healing depression, is facing the truth within yourself. But this peeling back these layers and quitting your vices and your attachment to identity, for me, was the next step, my second step that I really needed to take in order to begin the road of self-discovery. Because I thought I was in the alcohol, I thought I was at the club, I thought I was in the back of the car with the boy, that's who I thought I was. I thought I was the sexy girl that was dancing on the stage, and I wasn't any of those things. Not one of those things was I. And what I realized when I dropped all of that and I essentially killed that girl that I thought I was, I realized that I was still very much alive, and that everything that was left was so much closer to my truth than I had ever known, at least in my adolescence and early adulthood. So if you are trying to, or if you know somebody that's trying to heal themselves naturally of depression, and I continue to say naturally, and I'm not sure I mentioned this last video, but I really want to make sure that if you are on any sort of medication, that you're not just going to take it upon yourself to start going all natural. You can use these methods that I'm going to be sharing with you on top of your medication, and of course talk to your doctor about, you know, if your doctor thinks that you're ready to be weaned off of your medication, do it in a very, very safe way. The doctor will handle all of that, but the worst thing you can possibly do is be taking antidepressants and then just stop. You actually become much more suicidal with a lot of the medications that you could be taking. It is extremely dangerous. It fucks with your head and it is not the way to do things. But the good part is that you can do this natural stuff on top of what you're already doing. So just keep yourself safe. And there it is. Okay, so next week I want to talk about step 3. There actually were a lot of steps that I took. I could probably write a book about this. There were a lot of steps that I took into really healing myself of depression. They were very, very simple steps. I mean, these are simple things, but they, for me, caused this huge awakening. And next week I will talk about the awakening that I had. That was caused by these first very minuscule 2 steps. Step 1, which was awareness, and go check that out. And then step 2, and just sort of detachment. So there it is. I will see y'all next week. In the meantime, join the inspiration conversation on diaryawaken.com or comment below this video. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if you have healed yourself of your own depression. I would love to have a discussion about this. If you know anybody suffering with depression, please point them in my direction. I love it when you guys contact me. I would be more than happy to bring you any resources that you absolutely need. I'm in the Philadelphia area, of course. I'll try to point you in the right direction if you are anywhere else. I know plenty of really incredible therapists and people that can help you with treatment, and I myself have been there, done that. So please don't be scared to ask me for help, because it's literally what I live my life for, is to help people who have been suffering with depression not have to suffer anymore. Free yourself and live your dreams. Those are the people I want to help free themselves. Free yourself of yourself. The people suffering with depression, like I was suffering. So join the inspiration conversation on diaryawaken.com. Make sure you follow me all over social media at Darienne Empire, and join the mission to help bring love to social media. Mission Love. And every single week I give free live webinars with some really incredible guests for an entire year. So it'll be until February 2016. Join that mission. It's completely free. You want to do that, and it's fun. So come on over. All right, I will see you guys next week. Love you. Mwah.
So